All right, guys. So, in my time playing video games, one of the things or the trends in video games that I'm not loving is everything seems to be open world. That we have to put a bunch of shit into a game to just fluff it out. Not a fan of that trend that's going on in gaming. However, there are games that excel at making the open world experience a blast to play. And today I really wanted to talk about 5 games to me that are different in the way they use their open world experience and make the game so much better. And it might not just be because of the open world feature of having just a big open world, but the things you do in it or how you travel in it that make these games special. So today I'm going to give you my top 5 open world video games that I've ever played. So it's not linked to any generation. The majority are last generation. And we're going to get into it right now. So my first choice is Red Dead Redemption 2. And many of you who followed my channel for a long time might be a little surprised that I put Red Dead Redemption 2 so high. As most know, I'm not the hugest Rockstar fan, at least after the PS2 generation. I did enjoy my time with Red Dead, and the one thing that really stuck out for me with this was visiting the different areas. There are always interesting things to find and see there. The random acts of the AI and the scripted events were just really awesome. Like you could just be walking, and this woman's like, help me," and you go to save her, and then you get ambushed by people. Stuff like that was just awesome, and I also really liked hunting wildlife in this game. It was fun. It was actually challenging at times, and then you had the epic hunts, which were really cool too. So what I really enjoyed about this game, that it was fun to explore this world of Red Dead Redemption 2, and the actual like scripted events in it, like not the story mode, but the actual scripted things that happen during your traveling in this game is really fun. And it's also a very laid back experience, different than anything else on my list, is that you can just chill and enjoy the scenery. Coming at number 4 is going to be Witcher 3. Now, Witcher 3 is a real balance of a lot of things that I like about open world. It's fun and exciting places to visit, excellent use of side missions to give it a real sense of story and world building, and sometimes the side missions in this game are more interesting than the main missions. The fact that you can get to visit a good amount of different places, that's also a big key factor of why I enjoyed exploring this world. But I have to say, and I said it before, the side missions are actually what make this game, to me, stand out. It really helps build this excellent world that I want to explore and learn the lore of, mostly because the stories and the side missions are great. So instead of just having a narrow game path, you get to explore these open worlds with different areas, and thanks to the side missions in those areas, I actually wanted to visit these places. So the side missions in Witcher 3 really made this open world experience that much more fun. My next choice would be Infamous 2. So Infamous 2 is another game where I would like to call more of a balanced game. I enjoyed the side missions. I enjoyed the world as it was different than the typical cities that we get in most games, being in New Orleans. And the fact that you use the environments like a power station to boost you up and heal yourself is really cool. It actually makes the things that you're interacting with, besides just the enemies, something to do, and you can save or murder people, which is pretty messed up. The absolute best part, though, is the open world experience in this is the traveling. You are a super badass because you are basically fucking Electro, but cooler. And it's really super fun to use powers to go places. You can jump on power lines and kind of zip your way around town. You can even fly a little bit at some points with the electrical boost. And then you get this whip that's kind of like Spiderman, so that's really cool in the later half of the game. There's plenty of awesome moments in this game is what I'm trying to say, but it's the fact that the traveling's really fun and the fact that you get to save people and be a superhero. It makes this open world experience almost like you are an actual superhero. One of the first games to make me feel that way. Coming at number 2 is Horizon Zero Dawn. This game really shines for me with the monster designs and the world you get to explore. There's a lot to visit, but what makes this game so fun and to explore is the gameplay and the hunting. And that is really why this open world works for me so much. It helps that the design of the robotic monsters are basically gigantic dinosaurs. So as a huge dinosaur fan growing up, I really like that. I also like that you're like the soul hunter surviving on the pure energy or pure survival instincts to get through these areas. But what really helps is the excellent gameplay, because what you can do is set traps and figure out how to kind of corner your enemies. but it wouldn't work unless this world was open world, where you could see your enemies so far out in the distance and you could basically lay traps and then trick them to come towards you. Things like that only work when you have a world like this, a nice big area. And I think Horizon really excels at the gameplay part of it, making it fun to hunt, that it contributes to the beautiful world that you're exploring. So overall, it's a mix of the actual gameplay and the world is fun to explore because of the gameplay. And my number one has to be Spider-Man 2018, or even the Miles Morales game, because it's the same world. Listen, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I grew up as a Spider-Man fan because of the cartoon and comics. I became an even bigger fan as an adult because I can relate to Peter going through his struggles. For Spider-Man, though, I'm going to include both of these games because Spider-Man has one big reason it is my favorite open world game. And it's because it is so fun to travel in this game. Each open world game that I put on here has their negatives and positives. And Spider-Man has that too, of course. But what is better than all of those games is the traveling in this game. Infamous comes pretty close, but for me, Spider-Man zipping around on your fucking webs through the city, doing tricks with Miles or Peter, whichever one you prefer to do different style tricks, is so fun. They give you a fast travel system, which I won't lie, I use once in a while. But honestly, I hardly ever used it because I had so much fun just swinging around New York. And, you know, that's the thing, is swinging around New York, doing crimes and stopping bad people. Well, doing crimes. Stopping the crimes. And also doing activities like saving people or stopping car chases. All that worked really well because you felt like Spider-Man because the swinging was so fun. Now, it's not the first Spider-Man game. Of course, we had Spider-Man 2 and all the other games that came after it that made it open world. But this, to me, is the perfect feel of Spider-Man so far. It might even get better as it comes out with the second one in a couple of years. But I have to say, I love this game for the open world fact. If this game wasn't open world, it wouldn't be nearly as good. And to me, that's what really registers for me the most of all these games on this list is I really like all the fact that they are open world, but I could see myself enjoying each one in some way. I could not see myself enjoying Spider-Man without the open world field. So, Spider-Man is my number one open world game that I've played so far. Now listen, this is my list. There's a million open world games now. Not that I, love that, as I stated before. I think a lot of games just put fucking shit in to fluff it out. That annoys me. But I would love to hear some open world games that I didn't have on my list that you might. We have Skyrim, we have Fallout, we have Zelda. So many games that came out in the last 10 years, really, that really pushed the open world feel. So I would love to see your list of open world games that you really loved. I hope you enjoyed my list, and if you haven't played one of these games, I really do suggest playing them all. I enjoyed them all quite a bit, and I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Have a good day. Bye.